5:37, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Time for the gang at 3. Johnny B, good morning.
Good morning, Dan Mandis, award-winning Dan Mandis.
Thank you so much for filling in yesterday.
My pleasure, sir.
And he did such an awesome job.
Johnny always does an awesome job.
Yeah.
You guys are way too kind.
The only thing, you know what I don't, do you know what I don't like about Johnny, Joan?
That he's so good, you worry about your job when you come back?
Yes, that. And the fact that Johnny never actually really wants to fill in, but he does it. And you're a team player, Johnny, and I love that about you.
Well, thank you, my man.
That's why I mentioned you during my my award speech thing that I did over the last couple of days. When I went to New York and I won up and gave the speech, my acceptance, whatever you call it, the acceptance speech.
Your acceptance speech, yeah.
And so.
And what'd you say about me?
What's that?
Yeah, what'd you say about lovely Joan here?
I included you, and I love everybody at WTN.
All right. Sure.
Anyway, no, I included you in my Facebook post, Joan.
Oh, okay.
I know that means a lot. Why did this just suddenly get awkward? Leave it to Joan to make it awkward. No. It's funny, though, because I'm at the award ceremony, and it took... So, you know what my plan was? I think I told you my plan, Johnny. My plan was I was going to not win, and I was going to sneak out, right? That was my plan.
Yes. What did I tell you, though?
You told me I was going to win, and you were right.
Yeah, there you go. Thank
and so Johnny, now Joan, has bragging rights.
Oh, he bragged about it all day yesterday.
I did, man. When I'm right, I like to brag because nobody else will.
So they call my name, and I am shocked. Like, completely shocked. So all I can think about in the long walk from my table that was at the back of the room all the way to the front was, oh, God, I hope my zipper's not down. And don't pull a Biden and fall going up the stairs. And that was my big worry. And then I got up there, and then I wanted to make sure that I didn't drop the trophy, which was heavy as all get out. So then I gave my speech, and as I said in the opening of the show, I thanked Johnny specifically. I did thank Ken specifically. The Marconi covers the time when it was Johnny, Ken, and I doing the show. And I do firmly believe, and now, Joan, you are such a welcome addition to the mornings. And it is such a team effort on the show, from Johnny and you, Joan, Ken, when he was in that seat, the listeners as well. And so I was, big part of my speech was thanking the listeners to WTN, because I do firmly believe that this truly is a team effort. And I thanked, Cumulus Nashville and all that other kind of stuff. So it's just, and then the thing is so heavy, though. So this is where it gets kind of funny. Amy, I've tried to do this so that I don't get in trouble.
This is fun.
Amy had this new bag, and she desperately wanted me to use this particular bag that she ordered specifically for my trip. Now, I don't know why she wanted me to use this bag. I really didn't want to, but she was like insistent. And so happy wife, happy life. So it doesn't have any wheels on it, which was fine when I didn't have, a lot of clothes, whatever. So I win this Marconi. That thing is heavier than all get out. So I have to schlep this thing all the way home. And it's in my bag with no wheels. Because it's like a over-the-shoulder carrying bag kind of a thing. And so I'm schlepping this thing all the way, like through 2 airports.
Oh, boy.
I feel like I got to go to Dr. Mitchell and get, some chiropractic work done. So Amy said, how'd you like the bag? And I said, I love it, except it really does need some wheels. She didn't think that was funny.
Johnny, you know what I'm hearing out of this story?
What's that?
That our Christmas gift to Dan this year is going to be a membership to a gym.
That's
so
exactly.
that he can lift it.
There you go.
That's exactly right. I do. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. New York. What can you say about a place like New York where it takes you an hour and a half to go 9 miles?
Yeah.
An hour and a half to go 9 miles. And so I swear hopefully that's the last time I ever go to New York, but whatever. It was a great time. Had a wonderful time. Saw a lot of people I haven't seen in forever at the ceremony. But the Uber ride, from here to BNA, I'm still a little shell-shocked. So guy picks me up and, it's an Uber, and he picks me up here at the radio station. And I'm walking towards the car, and I thought, okay, did I order like the discount Uber? I don't know. No hub. I ain't judging. It's going to sound like I'm judging, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But no hubcaps on the tires.
All right.
Had a bit of a dent in the car as well. Whatever.
It's surprising to me that Uber allows that car to be part of its fleet.
Not judging.
Yeah.
Not judging.
Do you have a lot of stickers on the back?
No.
Oh, that's good.
No, although it wouldn't be surprised if it had a lot of like Biden-Harris bumper stickers.
And coexist.
Or Harris-Waltz and coexist. I get in the car and I'm just like trying to get to the airport. And he starts in on all of this just frothing at the mouth, hateful Donald Trump stuff. Like how much he hates Donald Trump. Now, I didn't start it. I don't know if he knew who I was, because, you can tell. And I'm not saying that in just like a braggadocious way. I'm just saying it seemed so incredibly random. He says, well, yeah, I don't really need to drive Uber, but I like to get out of the house. And I said, okay, good. Good for you.
What are you going to say about that?
Nothing.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I appreciate you taking me to the airport.
Well, without the hubcaps, I think you might want to.
Yeah.
You might have to drive Uber.
So then he says, I don't like to watch TV. The news is awful. We live in a really divisive time. And I said, yeah, boy, that's sure right.
You should have seen it coming right there.
And then he goes on with the next sentence. He says, I think Donald Trump is certifiably insane. I'm like, oh, God, here we go. And I said, oh, yeah? And he said, yeah. And I said, all right. Like, I'm not trying to feed the beast. I want to get to the airport in a peaceful manner.
Yes.
And then he starts in with Donald Trump gave Vladimir Putin a bunch of COVID tests. He has spoken to Vladimir Putin 7 times. And I'm just some of the other talking points. And I said, okay. I said, well, just so you know, a lot of that stuff Trump has denied or it's been debunked. He brought up, I think if I remember right, the white supremacists are fine people, that whole thing too.
Oh, gosh.
So I said, you sound like you watch a lot of MSNBC.
Yeah, Joe Amica, huh?
And he said, well, you sound like you watch a lot of Fox.
Oh.
And I said, well, I do watch Fox News and I read the New York Times and the Washington Post and all kinds of different outlets because I like to be informed. And he goes on about Trump and I said, listen, you vote who you're going to vote for. I said, I really don't care. But I will tell you this, that I've never been more financially well off than the 4 years that Donald Trump was in office.
Amen to that.
And I said, you do you, man. Whatever. And he continues to sort of like argue with me and realize I am held hostage in this dude's car.
Yeah, right. What are you going to do? Jump out?
I wanted to. And so I texted Amy, actually, and I said, OMG, my driver is a lunatic progressive. Now, I don't say that he was a lunatic because he's progressive. It's just he was frothing at the mouth and literally arguing with a complete stranger who is held captive in his car. So I'm deciding how I want to deal with this because I just want to make it to the airport in one piece and have this dude not, do something weird. Because I'm just going to be honest, he looked like he just, got off of a Bernie Sanders socialist commune. I mean, he had no offense to, people who have long hair and are really scruffy looking, whatever. But he just had that look.
Yeah.
So finally, we get to the drop-off area at the airport. And I don't know exactly what it was that he said that finally triggered me, because he was definitely trying. And I finally, when we got to the airport, I said, you vote who you're going to vote for, and I'll vote who I'm going to vote for. I'm just trying to be nice. I don't remember what he said, but I threw down about 2 minutes of talk show host thunder that was based on, and I couldn't believe it was almost surreal that I'm throwing this down. It's like a monologue in the middle of an Uber ride. But I wanted to shut him up, and it was like he had nothing to say. He had nowhere to go. It was full of facts, and it was full of just, irrefutable. And that was it. And I got out of the car and I said, have a nice day. Shut the door. So then, of course, everybody wants to know.
This was my first question.
Joan's first question when I told her this story today, did you give him a tip? Johnny, what do you think? Do you think I gave him a tip?
I would think you gave him one.
Joan, what did you think when I was telling you this story? Did you think that I gave him a tip or no?
No, I was hoping you didn't give him a tip.
I did not give him a tip.
I'm proud of you.
Well, yes.
I'm proud of you.
Do you think Johnny, do you think I should have given a tip?
No, I mean, that's up to you.
Because here's the thing. I'm not giving him a tip, not because of his politics. I'm not giving him a tip because he didn't do his job correctly.
No, he did not.
I'm reasonably certain that an Uber driver is not supposed to engage in political discourse.
No, I would agree with that.
And
there's a time and place for that, and an Uber ride is not that place.
And if you had thoughts about whether or not you were actually going to make it to the airport, I would say that feeling threatened like that that would not spell a tip for me.
No, that's exactly right, Joan. And so, no, I did not give him a tip. People are saying on the super text line that I should report him to Uber. I don't want to do that.
I agree.
No.
I totally agree. I'm sure are not the last person that this guy has beat up. Do
you think he might have known who I am because he picked me up at the radio station?
Maybe?
And
That's possible.
people know me. I mean, I'm not saying that again, bragging. People know my name. And so I just wonder if he knew who I was and he thought, oh, good, I've got this Jack A held hostage in my Uber. So what I'm going to do, and I just wonder, I don't know, because he seemed like a hate listener. Because, I mean, you guys I don't know if you ever come face to face with hate listeners.
Yes.
I have, and this dude definitely had that shriek of a hate listener. So whatever. I'm not going to report him to Uber.
Can I call and report him for you?
No.
That he didn't have there
you go.
He didn't have any hubcaps.
Hey, come on, man.
Somebody said you should have given him a 2-cent tip and say, that's my 2 cents. Get it? I like that.
love
that. Would have been great.
5581.
Can you actually...
Should have given him a 2-cent tip, commented, here's your 2 cents back. As a former Uber and Lyft driver, that person. Okay. So I think that's...
I love 4343. You already gave him a tip. Vote for Donald Trump. LOL.
Yeah, vote for Donald Trump and you won't be driving that Uber and you'll get some hubcaps.
That's exactly right. Hubcaps for everyone. Make America great again. Anyway, whatever. And I wasn't mad at all. Like, I truly wasn't. I just thought the whole thing was really bizarre.
Well, it's just not
bizarre
a place
and
for
random.
That. Yeah, it's not a place for that. You're trying to get to a destination. The last thing you want to do is get preached to about politics.
Yeah. Nope.
No, thanks.
No, and I wonder if he thought that maybe I was going to be, well, if he did not know who I am, then he obviously maybe was hoping that he would get somebody who was of like mind. I actually almost started agreeing with him just to see what he would do. Oh, yeah, you're right. Remember when
that would have been good.
He also brought up suckers and losers. The whole thing about the cemetery and suckers and losers.
He's really deep in those.
I was like, dude, do you know how much of this stuff has been debunked?
Yeah.
And I believe it. Okay, I think I said, I did get a little snarky. I said, well, you can believe it. I may have said, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I said, my line that I always use. Well, you can be wrong. That's okay. But
That's very good.
that's a lot better on the radio than it is, in person when you're held hostage in somebody's car.
Yeah.
See, I have a family member who does this. They go on and on about politics, and they know I don't agree with them. But they were complaining they just moved to a new town, and there's an illegal immigrant family living next door, and she thinks they probably are also, they've got a criminal history. And as she went on, as she ended, I said, just know you voted for this.
Yeah, your girl Kamala brought him here.
Yeah, the people you voted for made this happen. Mm-hmm. No answer.
I saw a story, a headline. I'm going to probably do it later, but Fox 17, just real quick, which is that the teachers are complaining because all these ESL students, English as a second language students, are sort of clogging up the classroom. And somebody brought up a great point, which is, well, why is it the teachers union always supports the Democrats?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because they're the ones that did this.
Well, because, and I'll tell you why. Because if the teachers union supports that, then they know that later on they can say, we need more money.
There you go.
It's always throwing money at it.
Follow the money.
Yep.
All right, real quickly. Okay, so that shriek was heard at a Donald Trump rally hosted by J.D. Vance. Apparently, the woman's chair broke, and J.D. Vance had the line of the night.
Or the federal government, there's a lot of...
Hold on, just a second, man. We okay? Kamala Harris built this platform behind us. That's what happened.
There you go. There it is in its entirety. You gotta love. I gotta tell you, man.
He's all that.